Thank you, Rabbi Feldman. And I say, let's clap it at the end. See what you get first, and then decide. I admit that when Shana contacted me and offered me to come here to speak with you, Olim Chadashim, she immediately felt that like having the chance to contribute something to Olim Chadashim moves a needle for me and my heart. So thank you for the opportunity. And honestly, I was not expecting such a generous introduction by both of you. So as a good Israeli, I prefer the backup. Not as prestigious as you two, but almost.
A real standout in the world of innovation and technology. This guy is phenomenal.
Now he's talking about me, of course. And the reason I'm showing this to you is because I imagine most of you be like, yeah, nice. I saw like thousands of these since the week just started, right? And I think this is the point. Everybody can do that. It's crazy, isn't it? And we like not even impressed. Everybody can do that. Okay, let's think about it for a second. 5 years ago, before AI was introduced to our like daily routines, you could also make video clips like this one, but what did you need in order to have that? You would need a monstrous computer and a crazy programmer and 3 months and $100,000 for this. It means that you're going to need some really good reason and someone to finance such a video clip. And now, a few years later, everyone, including myself, without any specific knowledge or machines, this is the machine I need, or time, can do that with an investment of less than 1 cent. This is what it costs, right? So I think the main thing we're going to think of when we try to understand the impact of AI on our world is that the equation of what kind of input you need in terms of profession or expertise and time and money and machine, the equation between the input and the output has been redefined altogether, right? As long as we're talking about data and all around it, okay? So, and we kind of get used to it. We can do much more with so much less, or we can do much more with whatever it is that we have. And the second thing is even this accelerates and improves at a pace I've never seen before. I've been covering technology for like almost 30 years. I've seen the internet start, and it was fast and it was impressive, not barely as impressive as the pace that AI goes at, right? So much faster. Even this, which is pretty nice video, has already got much better. Look at this.
This town ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay, so this is all AI generated naturally. It's Google's VO. I want to guess that like 70% of the videos that you've watched online for the last 6 months were generated with Google's VO, which is just improved again. And yeah, these are all very nice images, but it's clear to us that they are too surreal to be true, right? We don't think this is authentic. But this lady right here, right? If like 100 people get this lady to watch and just a random video clip that somebody sends to you, not within the frame of, under the title of this is an AI lecture, but while you're doing your shopping in Rami Levy. So then you get this video and you would regard it as authentic, wouldn't you? I mean, maybe 1 out of 100 people would suspect, unless you were primed to suspect that it's AI. So this means something very profound to us all. We need to suspect everything, each and every piece of media that we get, receive, watch on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on YouTube, on the news, on YouTube, whatever. You need to suspect immediately and ask yourself, is that authentic? Can I tell? So I think we're kind of back to basic. The only thing I can actually know that actually happened is if I saw you speaking right here in front of me. I know that has happened. And there are many scams that are going on now, taking advantage and abusing people that cannot tell the difference. and it might be at our parents' or grandparents' age. So easy to fool them. They have no idea of the even possibility of someone, right, generating such videos, and it could be a video of your son or your grandson that is telling you that they're on the ambulance right now on the way to emergency room, and you need to deposit to transfer $800 immediately, so they will be taken care of upon arrival. And they're speaking to you on a video call live, and they're responding to your questions with their true voice and face. It's not them. It's a hacker that stole their image and their voice. Where from, by the way?
America.
No. I mean their image, right? Your image, your face, and your voice can be so easily stolen and be trained upon because they were taken from social networks where you have probably shared them for free before we even realized that somebody could, from the other end, download them all and train their own machine to imitate you. And this has been happening, by the way, all over the world, also in Israel. Now let's take this into the public arena. Yeah, so this is a creation, by the way, of Israeli brothers, the Dror brothers. Was going on very viral during the election. So this is, again, this is nice, this is fun, this is satire, great. Maybe not so satire, but if you really want to fool people, you know that this has happened, like during the primary elections to the last election for president, no, not this, that. Some of the voters got a phone call from President Biden asking them to
important that you save your vote for the November election. We'll need your help in electing Democrats up and down the ticket. Voting this Tuesday only enables the Republicans in their quest to elect.
What? You're asking me not to vote for you? Really? Yeah. Now, you don't need, that is the robocall, right? Of course. Now, you don't need to convince 100% of the people with this request. Not even 50, not even 2, right? You need to make like every 1 or 2 people out of 100 to not vote for you. And that's it. You can change the result altogether. This has happened. This was, of course, caught and publicized. But what about all the other scams that were not caught? That nobody knows that have happened. And who knows who were behind them? Is it my political rival? Is it my strategic rival from across the seas? I don't know. Nobody knows. This has happened through many countries already. So all those Black Mirror scenarios are nothing of the future. It's already the past. It's already happening right now. And you can imagine other scenarios as well, but I wanna focus our thought for a moment on what if I removed altogether all those special effects of sound and video. Put it aside for a second. Let AI just have a debate with me, convince me to change my mind about something. So this is a research done by scientists in Zurich, and they sent their LLM, large language model. It's like the technological family of ChatGPT, Gemini, and all those. So they sent one of those AI machines to have a debate with people online on a specific forum on whatever subject, social, political, moral, whatever. And whatever it is that you think, comes AI, impersonates to be a regular human being and tries to convince you the other way around. Whatever it is that you think, they have the other position. After 1,500 conversations, let's sum it up. AI was 6 times more effective than human beings in making people change their minds. Now, this is only on the qualitative measure. How about the quantitative? This can run and talk to people with no limits. I can spend like an hour debating with someone on X on some stupid whatever until my time runs up. This machine can talk to 170 million voters in whatever, in 2028, in whatever social network, in whatever language, on whatever subject, and be much more efficient in convincing them to change their mind. So who's going to win the next election in whatever country? The candidate that holds more compute power than their rivals. That's it. You can promise, you can impersonate to be yourself or the rival or whatever, someone else. You can make promises to people based on what they want or believe, and they can be contradicting promises, automatic contradicting promises to each and every voter. What it is that you care about. I promise you that. Okay, let's take a breathe. I need to breathe for a second. So here's one question that I really need to think about, right? How strong is it, this technology? How convincing? And is it already overshadowing my own judgment? And maybe there's a sub-question right here. What about the times that I do want it to overshadow my judgment or to be convincing? Maybe there are also those times where I'm asking some professional question and the result or the answer differs from what I thought to be true. Maybe I should put myself aside for a second and reevaluate, right? Super hard. And this is what profound or deep or impactful technologies do to our life. They shake the base. So AI has been with us for a long time. The fact that we can swipe our credit cards whenever and wherever is thanks to AI that runs and keeps us from fraud detection. And all the Google services that you have been using for the last 20, 25 years, including search and images and translate and hey Siri, hey Alexa, hey Google, hey Netflix, what can I watch tonight? All sorts of AI. Everybody came here with AI. Did anyone came here with this AI? Not in this land. Maybe somewhere else? Yeah, have you? Yeah. Did you try the Waymo?
Yeah, you in Los Angeles.
How was it?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Honestly, were you afraid?
Yes.
Yes.
The first couple minutes.
Same here. So this is my ride, and when I sit inside, I like hold tight to whatever there is to grip, like hold it tightly because you're not used to it. And then I figure out that my head started spinning, looking for the next threat. Is anybody coming from there? Is a car coming, a pedestrian somewhere? And then I figured out that even if I see something coming, there is no one to tell it to. There's nobody there. Like a month ago, a police officer pulled over one of those cars. There was no one to talk to. Really? So now I want to ask you, let's presume that I have one of those vehicles waiting right here outside Nefesh Benefesh. Who's not willing to go inside? Why not? Scary. What's your alternative? What's your alternative? You need to go somewhere. You want to go home. What's your alternative? To walk. Okay, let's imagine we are in the transportation area, okay? You would usually count on somebody to drive, yourself or somebody else. Isn't that scary? Okay, so let's talk about data. Google's Waymo, this is the service. By the way, please, you don't need to mention Tesla with autonomous vehicle, right? It's not there, it's not that. Google's Waymo has been executing over 1 million rides a month now. It's not a trial, it's not a beta, it's a full-on commercial service working with all the permits and regulation and insurance and whatever you're worried about, it's there. 1 million rides a month. And they're expanding to like their 10th and 11th and 12th cities right now, including London, which is like the mecca of taxis. So where in Israel, we're still trying to introduce Uber into the market. In San Francisco, Uber has been losing market share to Waymo. You know how much market share? 25% by now, probably more. 25% of the cab rides in San Francisco are being performed by Waymos. Now it's a little bit more expensive than a regular Uber, and still, those who use it once and twice and 3 times can't imagine going back to the crazy situation where you're actually sharing your space with a stranger. Who is this guy anyway? Why should I drive with him? Now let's talk about safety. After 25 million cumulative miles they analyze them with the help of an insurance company and try to compare how dangerous it is vis-a-vis compared with an average driver. 8%. Not minus 8%, 8%. It's minus 92% of suits, of lawsuits. No, claims to the insurance, minus 92%. Wow. This is 12 times safer than the average driver. Now, can you tell me what are you afraid of now? No, you're not afraid. No, by the way, what you've just done, maybe it's just in sake of the lovely audience here in my presentation, thank you for that, but you change your mind. At least you said you're going to change your mind. People don't do that. Nobody changes their mind ever. It takes a long time. And, sorry?
Unless you're convinced by AI.
Unless AI convinces you to change your mind. This is true. Thank you. And oftentimes, when technology moves so quickly, we will be facing situations where our habits and heart tells us this way, and your mind and the data shows you the other way. Now you're going to meet this in transportation and education and healthcare, oh yeah, and whatever, and in your professional day-to-day. You're used to doing things this way, and technology comes and offers a whole different way. Can you change? And this is really touches, the core of being a human being. I'm not used to doing this. I'm afraid. I don't want to change. Here's another example I want you to think about. Cubic is an Israeli startup. Offices are 400 meters away from here. And what they do is, imagine you're going to rent a new office, like a blank space, so you can upload your programs, your floor plan, to Cubic computer and ask them, okay, I need to fit in 3 offices like this and 2 meeting rooms and so on and so forth. And 24 hours later, and this is the style I want to design it with, and 24 hours later you're going to get 3 architectural plans of your floor with your demands, your requirements, optimized for the space you have. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. So useful. And then I'm like, I don't know, it sounds too good to be true. So I met with them and I inquired, show me how they do it, what happens, what are the procedures. So first they introduced me to this architect, sits in their office, responsible for going over each and every plan before it is shipped to the customer. This is human in the loop in order to find the mistakes and correct them before. And as everybody who's been using whatever AI product knows, it's full of mistakes, right? It will hallucinate somewhere between 5 and 20% of the time of the question you ask. It could be even more. So if you're trying to build your commercial product on it, you need something better than that. By the way, same goes to autonomous vehicles. 5% of taking wrong decisions doesn't work, right? We need it to be much, much better. Much better than the average driver. So after visiting them, I met with, I have this kind of presentation with the managers of Israel's largest bank. And I'm showing this to them. And the architect of the bank apparently is in the crowd. And she raises her hand and she tells me, I'm a user. Oh, really? Great, I want to hear how is it from your perspective. Is it helpful? Is it good? How accurate is it? And she started to explain, so I tried to cut it to the chase. What percentage of your job has this been performing? What did she say? 90? Okay. You trust technology, so do I. I want to reiterate, highlight the important piece of data to the question. I was speaking in front of all the managers of the bank. What did she say? 20%. Now, I remind myself that I'm not an architect. I have no idea what is the real answer to that. But I know that in her answer, there are at least two data points. One is, what is this actually doing? Could be 90%. There's also the question, what does she want them to think about what she's doing and how important she is? And this is the debate that goes within the daily life of each and every professional, almost in each profession. Because this kind of help, or profound help, or systems that can perform important parts of your daily tasks are now introduced into every profession possible, right? An accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, programmer, oh yeah, and so on and so forth. How do you grasp the value that this brings to you, and how can this contribute to your position rather than shrink it down? Anyway, I talked to her, with her a little more to understand what it is doing for her, and she told me, I mean, she can, with this, let's imagine that this does half of the job, okay? Like the first half of the planning. So if she uses this, instead of planning, say, 4 branches, offices, a year, she can now plan 8, 7, 6. It's amazing, the increase in productivity. She doesn't need to be shy of it. She should show off. She could maybe work just half the hours a day or a week and go home. The bank pays less, she has more free time, maybe she's happy and same productivity. Great. Maybe she has now free time to spend into better planning those offices. Do those tasks that we always delay. Now you can do them, you have free time for them. Amazing also, right? So there are many ways to rebrand or reframe the value that AI is going to introduce into your daily profession. But what do we need in order to let this amplify me rather than diminish me? I think the answer is somewhere around, first, be adaptive. Understand that this takes away those tasks that you used to do. You're not doing them anymore. You let go. Hard. Secondly, you need to understand that there is a new task going over whatever it is that this has done for you. It's a new task. Don't trust it. Let it be your assistant, not replace you, because it still cannot. Maybe one day. And then understand that it might give you some free time to do things that you've never done before, to increase the value of your position. And these are 3 things that we're not used to doing today. There are many more, by the way, that we consider. But this is a profound change in each and every one of us at work right now. And the change is going to be much larger. If I try to compare AI revolution with previous industry revolutions, then I'm not going to talk about industry at all. When electrical power was introduced to households, one of the changes, one of the unanticipated changes, was that people started to grow taller. You know that? Because the first time when you had an electric stove and a refrigerator, the meat that was purchased in the market held more than 2 days. All of a sudden it held a week. So kids in the growing stage were fed with more protein. Is it true that all the families in the room grew like 10, 15, 20 centimeters taller in the last 100 years? Everybody's taller than their grandmothers? Yeah? Why? We share same DNA. This is why. We got better protein, thanks to electricity. Other things as well, improvements in healthcare and so on. And then came other machines to the household, such as washing machine and Dyson and air condition. What's most important of those 3 machines? Which is the most important one?
Washing machine.
Why?
Because it was so time intensive before.
Right. Whose time? Yeah. Women. If I want to condense the story, then washing machine set women free, right? Not alone. Other machines as well. Oh, and you're not free. You're still not free. I agree. Don't worry, I'm married. I know. I know and I agree. But imagine that 100 years ago, a woman that had the potential to become a leader, a manager, an architect, a programmer, a scientist, it was not even a question. You need to spend 2 days a week doing that. So then came the washing machine, and at first, by the way, women started to invest more in kids, and then in themselves, which is amazing. So nobody saw this change coming, societal, moral, economic. So every revolution brings changes that we cannot foresee, we cannot anticipate. And this is why, if you listen carefully to leaders in all fields, they say, I have no idea what's coming. Did you listen? I heard historians say that, and heads of countries, and no, they have no idea what's coming. Half a year ago, President Trump, it's a returning gag, went to Qatar and the Emirates. Do you remember what everybody was talking about? The plane. Isn't it crazy? And it went through. It's fine. Take your plane. It's yours. Great. But what really people were talking about, or the deals that were cut over there, were around 3 dimensions: weapons, energy, and AI. AI jumped within 2.5 years from being this lovely, nice website that rewrites emails for me into a major axis across which new pacts are formed between empires. And not millions, not billions, but quadrillions of dollars are now planned to be moving across continents around AI. So when things are changing so quickly, across the board, from the most private or physiological or societal dimensions to the professional dimensions, and of course they interact and interfere with each other, it's so hard to predict where things are going. I know that it's very hard to plan as a human being, as an organization, as a country. It's very hard to plan ahead. So what do I need to do? What's the payoff? If I can't plan, I think I need to be super responsive. I need to be ready for everything. Whatever opportunity, whatever risk comes, I'm ready. And I think many of us, just as human beings, our habit, our aspirations goes as far as spending my day more or less like this. You understand what I'm saying? Sitting down, expecting the day to be same as yesterday, doing the things I'm used to do. And now the world is telling you, no, you're going to be like this. Be ready all the time, because things are changing. Your habits need to be adaptable. And I don't think that we were born to this amount of change in a given time frame. Nobody asked us, though. And this is before being an Israeli. Add Israeliness to that, it's like plus 60% of craziness to everything. You know, you've been here, you know. And I don't think there is almost not a single profession that is immune to the change. There are some, but not so many. And I want to jump ahead as I see my time moves quickly into one other, maybe one last thing we need to think about. And as you can see, I'm speaking about technology, but I'm not saying anything about technology, right? First, I know nothing about it. Probably there's some here in the audience that know more about technology than myself. And secondly, because I think the other thing that is so crazy about this generation of AI is that all those products are accessible for people without any specific technological knowledge. It's for everyone. What do you need to know? English language, not even. Even Hebrew is enough. As if it's less. No, it's more. But this is all you need. Native language. You can do crazy things with it. So what do you need? You need to be able to access the right services and operate them with your mother tongue. But there's another thing you need. And here's maybe an example for the other thing you need. What do you see? The thing you see now this is an advertisement for a perfume that is being sold in Tel Aviv, like a mile southwest from here. It's a little shop. I'm not advertising it. But the story is interesting because they're selling expensive clothes. Okay, it's 7 in, whatever. They're selling very expensive clothes. and they want to start selling perfumes as well. So they started some market research and discovered it's going to be quite costly to develop their own perfume. So the son of the owner told his dad, "Dad, don't worry, I'm on it." Logged on ChatGPT, it was 2 years ago, and asked it, "Can you be my professional top performer nose and create me a perfume ingredients list for freshy yet edgy notes? Like a perfume that's going to be freshy and edgy." So this is the reply given to him by ChatGPT. It's a list of ingredients with the reason for each and every one of them. Why should this one be inside this perfume? He had a little chat with it and then just sent this list to China, start mixing. And then he logs on to some other AI service and produces this brand and pack and ad, and here's another one. Everything is AI generated, except one thing, the product. The product is real and is being sold for 890 shekels right now for one bottle of perfume. And they're doing great business. Why I'm telling you this? Because when everybody is afraid, for good reason by the way, that AI is taking away jobs, it's also creating new business. As long as you're willing to be a little bit before the market and use your imagination in ways that others have not yet. By the way, now AI plus perfumes is a huge market, dealing mainly with personalization. But when they were thinking about that, nobody was there. So creating a new product, easy, piece of pie. And there are two things we need to imagine. This entire AI thing, I want to divide it into two slots. One of them, efficiency. Here's the thing you're spending too much time on. You want to throw it away to AI. And by the way, if AI can do that, you must let AI do that. Why? Because of competition, right? Don't spend time on tasks that technology can do for you. Throw it away from you in order for you to focus on the thing that AI cannot do, because this will differentiate you from your competition, be it other people or technology. And the second thing we usually don't think about is not efficiency, is opportunity AI. Meaning, think of the things that you don't touch today because they're too big, too crazy, beyond your dreams. Maybe this can be done for you as well. And here's an example that drives me crazy, and this will be the last one. It drives me crazy because it's my competition. It's a guy that served in the army with me. Roll forward 25 years, he is 30. He is lecturing about AI and television. That's his profession. His name is Ori Marcus, by the way. Very smart guy. And do you know what speakers like me like to show off the most? When we have a gig outside Israel. Then we take the most selfie shots and put it on Instagram. I'm in Milan, I'm in London, I'm in DC, look at me. By the way, nobody shows the audience. There are 4 people there, but look at me. Anyway, it's hard to get there because you know why, right? For all the reasons you can imagine. It's a hell of a work of business development and so on and so on. So this guy logs on to an AI engine called GenSpark. Maybe you've heard of it. I recommend to try. It has some new angles that ChatGPT does not. Anyway, he logs on and he does this amazing move. He describes his product, which is the lecture. You can describe your own. This is my product. I want you to search the world for conferences that are somewhere around my product, might be relevant to. Read their entire agenda in whatever language. Find out the responsible, the person who composed this agenda. Try to identify what this agenda might be missing, and then send an email to this person who is responsible for the agenda, offering my product as the resolution to the hole in their agenda. You get that? Because you can reframe the same product in many ways, right? Reframe it in a way that suits whatever they're missing. Anyway, it takes a long time. It took a whole night, in which he was sleeping, by the way. Waking up, GenSpark sent 70 emails on his behalf around the world. And let me tell you, I think more than half of them were irrelevant. conferences that didn't happen, that will not happen, wrong emails, whatever. It makes mistakes. Let's imagine that he did tons of mistakes. But 3 days later, he gets an invite to lecture in Malta for $3,000. And the woman over there asks him, how did you know what I was looking for? Now, this, you can understand why I'm crazy mad about this. But the thing is that he was imagining how AI can do something, can create opportunity for him, that if I try to do it myself, I need to not work on anything else for 2 months now, right? Let's read an agenda of a conference in Lita, Lithuania, whatever, and try to figure out what they're missing and find the person. No, but AI can do that for you. So you need to think also inside your box and outside your box, and let it do things for you. Okay, I'll wrap up. Running quickly to the end to show you maybe this, something to take home. Hold on a second. And yeah, there it is. If you want to look into the future, I think this is where we all want to direct our career path. Okay? It's going to be something we're good at, something we'll really like doing, because when the world changes so quickly, we need to have like an internal drive to study, to improve, to search for new things. It's going to be something that people, organizations are willing to pay you for, and complementarity. This is the new factor that AI has introduced into the world of jobs, right? The question is AI complementing you and enhancing your role, or is it diminishing you and biting into your position? Okay? And by being more flexible and adaptive, which is what this slide recommends you to do, you can make sure not to do things that AI can do, but do the things that it cannot, and let it enhance your role. And I also want to reiterate what I said before. Habits will keep you from changing. So try to make a new habit, lose habits. Just once a month, lose one habit. Get rid of it. On the other hand, your experience in whatever it is that you're doing, this is gold. Your experience, because AI cannot take this away from you, and it cannot take your position and your experience from you. Imagine I'm taking a 21 years old, giving them all the AI in the world, and putting them in your office, in your position. Can they change you? Can they take your place? No, not at all. So the importance or the capability that AI has is when it interacts with your experience and your knowledge of the world and the position you're holding. I will thank you in this moment. I can tell you that you mentioned Jumpstart AI, which is the initiative in which I'm actually teaching people to do stuff. And if you like, you can search more for it. And the other thing that I will invite you to do, if you want, is to get a weekly update from me. But before that, here's the last thing I want to say. Many people are not aware of the fact that the tsunami is on the way. It's already happening. I don't know if you've read some data coming from the US, but also in Israel, about juniors' positions that are declining very quickly now. And the demand is changing already. And there are many people who have no idea that this is coming. In other places that are not Israel, governments have been telling their citizens, you need to learn this. This is a skill that I want you to have, and here is the course I'm offering, and so on and so forth. We're busy in different agenda right now. It doesn't mean that a change is not coming. It is. And sometimes all you need to do to change somebody's life around you, in your family, in your friend, within your friends, all you need to do is ask them, have you tried logging into one of those services? No, you didn't touch ChatGPT ever? Come. Sit next to me. Let's try. And after 3 questions, you're going to ask them, do you know, ask the AI, what's going to happen to your profession? Where's it going? What kind of tasks, what kind of skills does this person have to acquire in order to be relevant? That could change their life, right? You're going to help them, make them aware to the fact that they're going to need to build a raft to be ready for the tsunami when it comes. And we can see it's coming. It's not somewhere, it's not somewhen, it's not in the far future, it's happening right now. So let's help them, let's help each other. I say be the AI prophet of your family. This is my weekly update in English or Hebrew as you like. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you. And if you have any questions, I'm right here. Thank you.
Wow, that was really excellent. Thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you.
Really captivating. Can I see show of hands for who has a question? Raise your hand if you have a question. I need to simplify that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. Name and where you're from, and give us your question.
Hi, Dror. Thank you so much. This is really very informative, and also, like, I have a billion people in my life that are terrified of AI. Thank you. So I try to get them to just like be excited about the possibilities of how it can improve their life in various ways. I really liked your graph of the various industrial revolutions, especially that, like, as we know, whatever skill that was taken over by technology was pretty much forgotten by the rest of humanity. Or like a very small group of artisans remembered how to create cotton fabric or whatever, but like it's pretty much now not relevant. It's not a human skill that we have anymore. So that's very terrifying with this next wave of,
True.
industrial revolution of like, what are we going to forget how to do? How do we hold this next wave of technology accountable? And do you think that AI is a part of holding AI accountable?
Wait. I need you to rephrase the question. Can you repeat it for me, please?
So I'll try. Like, what are you worried about human beings forgetting how to do because of this next wave of industrial revolution? How do we hold AI accountable to make sure that it doesn't override our human power over our own lives? And how is AI part of holding AI accountable?
Okay. Okay. Thank you. First, no, I'm not worried about losing skills. I think it's part of advancing. I don't know. 100 years ago, if I wanted to get to Haifa, I had to run. Now I don't do that, and it's fine. If I was ill, I would just die. Now I don't. So it's great. Okay, things are changing, and I think more, generally speaking, it's for the better. Usually, until now, most of it were for the better. Quality of life has improved, expectancy has improved, people's life improved immensely, the rate of death has gone down, so more and more. Overall, it's for the better. And when people forget how to navigate, then comes a war with Iran, and you need to navigate because GPS is down and your ways don't work. Great, sometimes the world reminds you, or there is a shutdown in ChatGPT, you need to think yourself. Speaking of accountability of AI, I mean, this is not a problem. The problem is, what if the shakeup in occupation, in jobs, are going to be so profound and mainly so quick that people will not have the time to adapt, society will not have the time to adapt, government will not have the time to adapt. This is what really worries me. Because imagine unemployment rate of 25%, 45%, 75%, right? Imagine what change does this do. Now, the thing is that money, wealth, will still be created more than before, right? Because AI, if a company changes an employee with AI, it's only because it makes more money. So we were going to need governments that are able to see where this is heading, to change taxation in order to keep everyone fed, right? Now, this is doable, but we need a government that understands that, foresees that, and works for us, the people, in a very professional and very professional way. I don't think we're there almost anywhere in the world. there are some very gloomy thoughts about democracy as well, which I'm not going to dive into unless you really want me to. And about accountability, AI is still has zero aspirations or desires by itself. It's always people who operate it. So if you want to look for accountability, think about the people, and don't forget, the people who make machines only make machines. Those who should address your needs and protect you are not them. It's your government that should protect you.
I don't want to video you asking your question.
Oh no.
Well, this piggybacks off of the last question and great answer. And the distortions that are coming, like I agree with you, the financial industry and government industry and politics has to catch up. But maybe there's actually an opportunity, and I'm curious if you've seen other companies trying to work on something like this, because full disclosure, I'm working on something like this, to kind of take into account an externality that is so obvious, but it's so massive that no one is paying attention to, that could actually re-level the playing field when it comes to distributing rewards that are created from this technology. And that externality is not a negative externality like carbon emissions from factories, but the positive externality of all of us 5 billion people on the internet contributing our data to the economy. And that's like a value that today we give away in the end user license agreement for $0 a month. But have you seen any company that's paying people for their data and therefore restructuring the whole global economy around data and not labor as the primary bottleneck input into the economy?
Yeah. First, I love this approach. Okay, it's looking at things as they really are.
Can you reshare his question?
Yes. Oh, reshare the question.
Yeah, so that everybody can hear.
So I think the question is, has anyone ever paid you for your data rather than just take it for free in order to enjoy together the wealth, right? And the great services that can emerge from the shared data that we all share for free. So apparently, I think people are very, including myself, by the way, very easily fooled into sharing our data for what we think is free, but we don't really understand what is the impact of the hidden impact that those platforms have on our brains or on our thoughts, so on. And I know just a handful of companies. I've heard stories about a handful of companies that would actually pay you for data. I don't think anyone ever uses that, right? Because the traction is not there. We prefer conveniency, and we want to be where everybody else is, which is on TikTok.
How many more questions do we have? Name and where you're from.
Thank you. Hi, Jason from Minnesota. Regarding the Waymo cars, are they going on the highway? And what's the future of self-driving cars and what's holding it back? Thank you so much.
Good.
We'll take one more question. Can you answer two?
Benjamin from Chicago. Quick question. Of all the different AI modules out there, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, Gemini, which one is the best?
Okay.
Got those two?
Yeah.
State the question before you answer.
Okay. So, which model is the best? ChatGPT. Easy. Now, for real, they all have different strengths and weaknesses, and depends what exactly it is that you want to do. And each of them has different products inside, different tiers, right? That can do different things in a different way. And this comes back to the question: if we don't develop this conversation of what is it you want to achieve, I would start from ChatGPT. It's the best all-arounder. Gemini is also very good. It was just upgraded last week, and it does amazing things. Okay, and about autonomous cars. So as far as I know, Waymo is not allowed to go on highways right now, but other competitors, such as Mobileye, Israeli Mobileye, has partnered with the German manufacturers, Mercedes and others, and they will start from highways, and it's going to happen next year. They're going to start from it because the complexity of driving a car on this circumstances is lower. It's more dangerous if you make a mistake. But so they're going to start from that. And I think what's holding it back, we used to think that it's going to be people's willingness to try, and that it's going to be regulation. I think it's not there. This is not a problem. The problem is that technology is not as good as people thought it would be, and mainly costs us much higher than everybody thought it was going to be. And you saw other competitors leaving the market because it's just too expensive and changing the plans. And this is, I think, one of the reasons that Google's Waymo is succeeding, because they have Google on the back, right? That is willing to pour money into this business. I said before that the cost of a ride it's more expensive than regular Uber. There's no person in there. It should be cheaper. But the car is so expensive that they need to try to get the cost back. It's still not profitable. But look ahead 5 to 10 years, I guess it will be. And I'm honestly looking forward to the day in which we will all see a person driving a car and we'll be, are you crazy? Really? And I think this day is coming. By the way, if Google's Waymo is already at least 12 times safer than an average driver, what are we waiting for? Why aren't we all calling Israeli Ministry of Transportation, hey, wake up. We have 451 casualties a year right now in Israel. It's crazy. By the way, it's going up. If we introduce autonomous vehicles, maybe you can decrease this number by 10%. One soul.
But then who's going to scream and shout at us?
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Somebody will. It's Israel after all.
Yeah, I'm going to miss it when people roll their windows down and scream and flip you off. I'm going to miss that.
The passengers will still.
Where's the passion? Actually, I have a question.
Yes.
So you do a class where you teach people about AI tools.
Yes.
What kind of things can we all take home with us? You talked a little bit about changing our habits, and I wanted to know if you could share more about that. Yeah. What can we do to expose ourselves to tools? I'm sure that there's a lot of things that people in this room are doing in their work life that they know that they would like to pass off to AI, but maybe they don't know which tools are available. How can we expose ourselves to tools, AI tools?
There's, in Hebrew, you say to someone who is like a student who can't sit straight in class and always moves. So in Hebrew, you say, "Ma yesh לך קוצים בתחת?" כאילו, you have, how do you call it? Sorry? Hands? Ants in your pants. Brilliant. So I think we all need to feel as if there are ants in our pants all the time. And the ants are, why are you doing that? Can you not do that? How can I not do that? Okay? And the best tool, the tool that I like teaching the most is custom GPTs. Does anyone know what it is? You do. Do you like it? Yeah. Do you use it? It's amazing. This is really the thing that takes away things that you used to spend an hour a day. Now you don't.
What's it called?
Custom GPTs. This is inside ChatGPT. Inside Gemini, it's Gems. Inside Claude, it's called Skills. It's all the same thing. It's you take the crazy engine of this AI, of this ChatGPT, and you build a new car around it. What is the car? This is my mission. This is what I need to do. I need to write this and that in this language, in this style, in this length, based on this data and these instructions that I was given by my boss or by the state or whatever. This is how we do things. You give it all the context and you save it once and for all, right? Now, for example, I said I'm sending a weekly update. It's called Skip Intro. It's in Hebrew and English. I don't write English myself, naturally. I have my own. It's not just translate. It's translate in a very specific style that I like, and then I go over it and fix it, okay? But it does 60% of the job. Now I have many helpers like this that are designed to do a very specific job. There's only one person, only one user and client in the world, which is me, because it's my style, so each and every one of us can custom this crazy engine to do our tasks. And this, like people who custom this spend half their day in just operating these, and you increase your productivity 10x like this. Okay.
Dror, one more question from me.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this? When have you started being the professor of this idea?
Of AI?
Yeah, of your...
Okay. So first, I've been doing technology journalism for like 30 years. So the concept of explaining technology to people is the thing I did for my entire life. And as you see, I don't talk about technology at all. Why? Because it's boring and it's unimportant and nobody cares about that. Sorry for all the techies in the crowd. Sorry, further. Nobody, I mean, like my father worked for Rafael, you know what that is? They put together missiles. So he always cared about how things work, how does it work, where the data is going. And it turns out that he's not capable to operate the computer because all he cared about is how the things work from the inside. And he didn't learn how to actually operate. My mother, on the other hand, doesn't care how it works. She only cares how it advances her own life. So she can operate technology much better than him right now. I go with mother. And I advise you all to do that. Exactly 3 years ago, November 2022, ChatGPT was introduced to the world. It was exactly 3 years ago. And I try, I see, I understand. I call my agent. I told her, you need to sell my AI new lecture right now. Now, I've been lecturing about technology my entire life, but you need to sell my AI lecture. She's like, okay, what is AI? And since when do you have a lecture about that? Since when do you understand about it? I said, I know nothing about it. I don't have a lecture, but we need to start selling right now. I operate like a startup. You first see if there's clients, and then you make the product. So this was 3 years ago, and then she calls me after 3 days, and she's like, "You don't believe you have a lecture? Somebody ordered." I'm like, "Oh no, when is it? Next month?" No, I can't. I don't know nothing about it. Try to delay. Everything since then, I think I gave like 1,000 talks, including universities where I teach regularly, and I started with technology itself, and now I move more and more to the personal aspects of it because it's just more interesting and more important. Sorry, it was a long answer.
There are a lot of people who are talking about doomsday scenario, starting at when AI gets smarter than us, when AI creates AI, that the people developing it, they're just interested in making it greater and greater and greater, no brakes on it, no moral compass of what the long-term implications could be because they want to be at the top. Is this being addressed? I know there are a few people who are starting to raise the voice, but you think governments will catch up and say, okay, we need something, and even if you have regulatory, the people who are rogue aren't going to care about that anyway, so where are we going? What do we do?
Thank you, Rabbi, for this thoughtful question. I'm very worried, honestly. And I think they call it P-doom, probability of arriving at doomsday. Not only me, smarter people than myself see it as greater than zero, for sure, right? And I think it's almost inevitable. Now, it can come from different aspects in different ways. There are several doom scenarios that can all happen separately or together. And I think the one we're seeing very clearly starting to happen is the occupational one. It's right now. Governments, as you can see, are or indifferent, or they're looking the wrong way. From the doom perspective, they're looking the wrong way, meaning they want to advance AI as faster as possible to win the race, US-China, for example. And if you raise a voice about that, you are treated a little bit like people who care about the climate. Don't stop you from making money. You're in my way. And I'm afraid that nothing will change until the price will be unbearable. And even then, you know, I try to imagine how does a scenario of whatever, 25, 60% unemployment rate, what happens then? And when we think about, this is why I started with it, the fact that AI is already driving the societal and political conversation. It is controlling it via Facebook, Instagram, whatever, right? So what will happen when the masses are raged? Can anything good come out of it? And this brings me to a small, but I think very important core. The thing I think we need to think about it and teach our children, apart from being flexible and teach themselves new skills every day, you need to learn how to learn. That's the only thing you really need, is to look inside you, have a core that is made of values, strong values. You need to be able to tell good from bad and wrong from right without anybody telling you that. And you need the government to look at the citizens and be able to serve them and not anybody else. So simple, right? This is why we're all here for. And this is really back to basics. What do you say? Will it ever happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm actually going to wrap up our evening tonight. I'm sure there are a couple more people that have questions. Maybe they can catch you on your way out.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have a round of applause for this?
Thank you.
You were so great, Dror. You just really took us into the world. You could hear a pin drop in here. Thank you so much for taking us through all of that. I'm definitely going to sign up for your newsletter so that I can get started on my AI journey. Or further my AI journey. I welcome everybody to have another drink, and I encourage everybody not to leave tonight without introducing yourself to at least one new person. Hi, my name is the perfect introduction in a space like this one for you to make a new contact and for you to make a new friend or a new neighbor. So I encourage everyone to do that. We are going to be back next week. I'm not going to reveal the name of our speaker yet because I didn't confirm it. And I don't know where we're going to be either. We're not going to be here, but we are going to be on planet Earth. So keep an eye on your email, and I'll see you guys all